Hello everybody, welcome back to the shop. Alright guys, I made it home from Arizona, finally, and I had to chill out for a couple of days and had some drama go on, major drama. I'm trying to decide if I should tell you guys about it. Then I went to the doctor yesterday, guys, my heart surgeon. Okay, the main dude. And I had to go to the hospital first and have another one of them CAT scans with the dye, you know. And then they drew some blood because they wanted to check my kidneys again. And I went to the hospital first and had that done. Then I had my appointment with Dr. Arneson. He's the surgeon. He's the main one. And I was sitting in that waiting room, and he just came in smiling ear to ear, man. He said, everything is fantastic. My kidneys and my liver is all 100% good. My dissection looked great. It did not move, nothing swollen. Everything is fantastic. I'll see you in a year. Yeah, a year. So everything went ahead. Now I still got my other heart doctor, Dr. Backdash, and my regular doctor, Modeman. And I see Backdash every 3 months. He's just my cardiac doctor, you know. And then my regular doctor like once a month. But anyway, alright, you guys know I can't put away a broken airplane. And y'all guys know my nose gear didn't lock in Arizona. Well, the problem was this was made out of wood. You see that little tab right there? It's hard to see, it's shadowed. The little tab right there, this bolts to, was made out of plywood. And when we got there and I cycled the gear, this broke. Okay? Well, I don't know. And I put some epoxy on it and didn't hold. But anyway, so this was being blown back to by the wind against this, and hit right there and wouldn't let it go all the way forward and lock. See how that hits that. And so I used my vibrating cutter, cut that wood out of there, put me a piece of 1/8" phenolic in there, baby, and it's glued in there good, and that's good to go. So that's repaired. And then it grinded all this off. It ground it down almost halfway and broke it all up. So I went in there on the inside and I put some 1/4" plywood on both sides and another piece of 1/4" plywood, and I sanded it around, put some carbon in there, sanded it, put another layer of light cloth, and you know, all the way out to here past the seam, because there's a seam like right there where that's glued on, then a bulkhead. And it's all carbon now, and then I patched up the paint, and it looks good, baby. It looks brand new. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put me a piece of 1/8" aluminum. I'm going to bend it right there and double face tape it on in case it ever happens again. It won't do no damage. Okay? Now also, one of the engines flamed out. And it was because one of the batteries had a bad cell, these old batteries. Then the pilots ejected. And this one had actually broke in a couple places down the side, and I got all that fixed. These here busted all the way out on the top with them screws. I went in there with some carbon and fixed it, put the rivets back in it, and it's good to go. These tabs busted off. Now, it looked like they was epoxy and cotton flocks, so that's what I did. I went in there and drilled me some holes, a couple holes, and built it back up with my slow 24-hour epoxy and cotton flock. And then took my vibrating cutter and cut it to shape, sanded it, bam. The paint's still a little wet. And it's all fixed. So, and I also cut out them holes. I'm going to put some glass in there because them wasn't cut out before, them little windows that were supposed to be there. Now, I've been trying to decide if I should tell you guys about this drawing. You know I tell you guys everything. Remember them F-18 molds that were right there? That were given to me? Alright, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to tell you guys about this. And y'all can make your own decision. Whether it's straight up POS or can't be anything else. Okay. About December, mid-December, I don't exactly know the dates. I could look it up on the email. It wasn't too far before Christmas. I'm going to say the 18th, 19th. I could look up the email in the text messages, but you know, it's not that important. I get an email from this guy I've never met, watches my videos. His name's Kyle Walker. Lives up there by Kansas City. And he emails me, says I have some molds if you're interested, call me, give me his number. So I called him up, said yeah, I bought this, this guy died, was building these jets, and I bought this stuff, I bought the F-18 and a couple other jets, I'm not sure what all, a turbine, and they gave him the F-18 molds, gave them to him. Says, if I want them, come get them. His exact words. If I want them, come get them, you can have them. Exact words. So I said, alright, I'll be there in the morning. So I called my cousin Kenny up. You know, he's been helping me work on these A4s and stuff. And I said, man, you want to go on a little road trip? I got to go to Kansas City. Said sure. So we drove up there the next morning and showed us the molds, you know, went downstairs, showed us the jet he was building, you know, or not him building, the jet he bought, okay, and it was pretty much all together, needed painted, a lot of Bondo work, a lot of, just a bad layup. And, you know, he goes, you know, I'd kind of like to have a spare one of these, you know. How about, you know, you lay me up a spare kit for these molds. You know, I thought, you know, said I could have them, but, you know, that's a fair deal, you know. But I told him, I said, man, I am elbow deep in A4 stuff. I can't touch none of this stuff till I'm done. I don't know when it's going to be. I didn't give him a date. You know, and he said, oh man, that's fine, that's fine. So we loaded all these molds up and came home. A couple days later, he calls me up and says, man, they're going to throw these molds in the trash, these other molds, this other stuff. If you want it, you know, I'll go there and pick it up for you. You can have it. So I said, all right, I'll be there in the morning. Drove down there, picked it up. You know, still nothing, you know, and at that time, Kenny couldn't go with me that day, so I asked Calvin. You know, Flash, my buddy Calvin. He said, sure, man, I'll go up there with you. And, you know, we drove up there and picked him up and came home. Well, this was pretty close to Christmas. Remember I made that video, Merry Christmas to Me, something like that, you know, and then I had my incident, you know, I had to go to the hospital. A couple of weeks. I wasn't out of the hospital 2 days. You know, I was just barely walking. You know, he called me up, wanted to know when I was going to get on them F-18s, you know. He wanted his kit. And then I had to, he says, well, I'm not sure about my hatch. I don't think it's going to fit right. I need a new hatch. Need this, need that. And so then he threw in all these other parts. You know, and I still thought, you know, a hatch ain't that big a deal. You know, but he wanted a date of when I could do it. I said, dude, man, I just got out of the hospital. You know, talking on the phone with this Kyle Walker was brutal. He just kept wanting to go over the same thing. You know, and I'm not a 45-minute phone man. You know, say what you need to say, hang up. But, you know, every phone call with him was like 45 minutes. And he just wanted to cover the same thing. You know, just go over it and go over it and go over it and go over it. And it was just brutal, you know. And remember, I had just got out of the hospital. I wasn't feeling very good, and you know, I told him, dude, I don't know when I could do this. I just got out of the hospital. Hell, it might be wintertime. You know, and just, dude was just, you know, just kept on me. And, you know, and I was just so much ready to just hang up on the guy. You know, it was brutal. You know, guys just straight up POS, man. Just brutal. Okay, so right before, we talked a couple times since then about making bulkheads, you know, and I had the plans with the bulkheads on them. I really didn't need them, you know, and oh well, man, this guy can cut them for you for free, and I said, all right, man, just one set's all I need. I got my router, cut them out. And I said, okay, you know, because it was this guy's buddy who was building on these. And so he called me to tell me he had them done. I had to pay $40. I said, man, I don't care. You know, $40, I'll reimburse you. You know, and I really didn't need them anyway. I had the prints with the bulkheads on them. And I just kept going on and on and on and on. But anyway, so then, right before I went to Tucson, he called me up, and then it was build him two F-4s. And I thought he was talking about paying for them. I don't know. I was getting ready to go in the grocery store, and I walked up to the door, and I'm talking to him on the phone. I'm ready to go inside, and I'm here. I'm at the store. I gotta go, and you know, and he's like, well, man, I want to F-4s built, you know, and I thought he was talking about buying them or something, you know. I really didn't want to discuss it right then. I was trying to get off the phone, and I just kept going on and on and on and on. So I finally got off the phone, went in and did my shopping. Okay. I get back from Tucson. It wasn't 2 days, man. It wasn't even 2 days. I get a text. The molds I gave you, I want them back. And I said, you know, this was a text message he texted me. And I texted him back. Hint the word gave. Oh, and then he started. Oh, he goes, I got money. I being in the financial business, I have perks. I can call the sheriff. He goes, I'm going to call the sheriffs and have them arrest you. You know, and I laughed, you know, it's civil, you know. You can't be arrested for going up there and getting some molds a guy gave me. And, he went on and on and on. You know, in the meantime, these molds are not very good molds, real amateurish. The fuselage mold is full of Bondo, where they had, you know, corners chip out and voids. I mean, there was a lot of Bondo in it. And all the other molds, it's just bad quality. I was going to have to remake them. I was planning on laying up a fuselage mold, or laying up a fuselage plug, you know, and then using it to make a new mold. You know, it's kind of my plans for the fuselage and all the, you know, and I have good wing molds. And the stabs, you know, I was going, you know, they're bad too. They got all the flange was only like 1 inch, and they drilled the holes real close to the part where you could even put tacky tape on them and vacuum bag them, and just real bad quality, just junk, just, you know, they just wasn't worth the dealing with this guy, man. He threatened to, I got the text messages, he threatened to drag my name through the jet community to where they wanted to know what I am, and All I did is go up and get some molds that this guy gave me. Just straight up POS, man. And, gonna sue me. I got money. I got money. You ain't got money. I got money. And, dude, you know, he thinks these molds are worth a fortune, and you know, but they're not. They're garbage. You know, they're not production. Then he told me Global Jet Club was interested in them, and they're not. All them guys are my friends, man. I know them all, and I know Mike wouldn't want them garbage molds. They want plugs. You know, they make molds out of ceramic. I mean, their molds are nice, man, and these molds are garbage, straight up. And so I said, man, just come get these things. You know, he tried to tell me he had videotape surveillance of me buying by themselves, or me going up there by myself. You know, and I had a person with me each time. They heard, you know, say that. But it's just, his story kept changing through the past 4 or 5 months, and just straight up lies, man. Just lying to me straight up, man. Just, you know, and it just wasn't worth it. I got really upset. My blood pressure went through the roof. You know, and it just ain't worth it. I don't. You know, just wasn't worth it. You know, if that's the way this Kyle Walker is, I don't want nothing to do with this man. I don't ever want to talk to him on the phone again. I don't ever want to get a text from him again. And he's going to be mad about this video, but I ain't hurt his ability to make a living. I'm just explaining my experience with this guy, and you guys can make your own decision. Myself, straight up POS, man. And, you know, I'd rather just do my own stuff anyway. And there's so many F-18s out there. And I'd rather do something. I want to build a A6 intruder this winter. I got a B1 to lay up. I don't know. But, you know, when he left, I was just ready to never make another video again, sell all my jet stuff, and buy me a fishing boat. You know, and I made a video in a few days, and I've been kind of thinking about it, and, you know, and I just can't let this guy affect me like that. I don't know, but he just dang near ended Bob TV. I tell you what, his name's Kyle Walker, straight up POS. And that's my experience. Y'all can use your own judgment and decide who was in the wrong. What am I in the wrong? For going to get something some guy gave me, and it just wasn't worth fighting for. Ain't worth my health, or ain't worth my blood pressure doing that. And just wanted to let y'all know, because I tell you guys everything. Y'all can make your own decisions. And if you want to deal with this man, I would avoid it. But that's all you got. I'll see you guys back in the shop. And I ain't going to let old Kyle Walker ruin Bob TV for the whole world that enjoys it. So, till next time, we'll see you back in the shop with some F-4 building action.